Hold it 1 second, any opening Bismarck was saying in Kumo. Now, shortly, Jimmy thoughts on the performance of the economy. Way forward. Opening Akwaba.
Good morning. Ano pa yɛkyia happy FM a ɔmtie ne Ghana man nyinaa.
Impomoko there.
Yesu adom biribi awɔkɔ.
Yo, efforts to resuscitate the economy. We're being told some $2 billion will be injected into the economy. And all is targeted at the depreciation of the city. Opani, is this the way to go? As am I.
As Riley said, no, individually, we expecting, say, as we said, the African Bank, loan agreement now is signed a credit facility of $750 million syndicated loan. We expect that it will come probably next month, and therefore it will act as a short-term storage to cushion the whole situation. But I think it will come. Yes, of course, it will come as he rightly said. But ask yourself: is it a long-term magical solution to the problem? It will help maybe cushion the problem for the next few months, and we will come back to the square one. Why am I saying that? How much are we expecting? We're expecting about $2 billion. And let me tell you, every month the central bank need about $600 million for us to import goods and services. That means the $2 million that's coming in is coming to just cushion us for maybe some few months. We expect the IMF loan also to come. But all these things put together will play a very potential role towards stabilizing the currency for the next 5 or 6 months. And if the Russian-Ukraine tranquility still continues, we'll be back to the problem and become a serious pandemonium for us. So what he's saying is true, it will come, but it will be a short-term steroids. I think we should also ensure the long term. What are some of the ideas we can consolidate to help stabilize the currency? We hear issue of even if you hear issues of even non-dollarization, there will be measures to ban importation of some of these measures to ban importation of some of these second-hand products. People buy visas and take it with dollars, and people pay restaurants, and this also would have been affected. Don't forget that this thing will come, but it will not be it will help for a while, but the problem will exacerbate again. Anytime the problem will be exacerbated, Christmas is coming. You know, a lot of people is going to buy a lot of things for Christmas. Then they'll come and worsen the problem again too. Almost European, most central banks in Europe, no, or more increase more policy rate because of the inflation rate, because of their inflation targeting regime, no, or more increase more policy rate. The most foreign currencies, to buy foreign financial assets. It's a little bit about me and lasting solution or short term 2-3 months, but the problem will come back to come and hit us very hard and become quite monstrous for us.
Opani, what's the way forward in terms of the resolution? No, let me pause and ask the question, sir. What is at the root of this depreciation of the city, inflation that is going high? What is at the root?
Well, basically, as you rightly said, we know that the Russian-Ukraine war is one of the key factors. It played a very precipitating role in this development. And here, one. Number two, as well here, our debt to GDP, debt stock is also one of the key problems here. That is also causing a key problem because let me tell you, as of last 2 months, the Bank of Ghana said 60% of our tax revenue is interest rate on debt. And our debt stock, the interest rate here, some of these debts are foreign debt, are dollars. You have to exchange the dollars to pay for some of these things. So it's also putting a lot of pressure on the currency right now. Where issue of capital flight. People are moving their capital to European countries to buy foreign assets because of the policy rate of developing countries have also been hiked. This is another key issue. The issue of excessive importation is something we have to also see is a very serious pandemonium for us. I hope that was a basic things for now. Last year, African Continental Future Agreement, I'm introducing what they call Pan-African Payment System. MRTB to idea from the neighboring countries in Africa with your local currency. Kabuza as of now, so maybe can import rice, sugar, any some things like Dangote would a produce anything can import those things from Nigeria. Now you pay with our local currency through that system, African Continental Future Agreement. Because right now, I think I think being home and maybe I import Dangote yebi, maybe import and free for African payment African payment, Pan-African payment system, no, you turn through that system, no, we see this to stabilize the currency. Right now, intimate operationalize here. Right now, the issue of even for consumption, I got to see the time and it's putting out very palliative measures to deal with fuel consumption. Even if the okay measures be like that, even the use of public transport. Over here, cars, single private cars, obìnrin about 10 or 20 cars. In a two public transporter, come, let me reduce fuel consumption. Over the issue of even the issue of people working from the house. You carry COVID-19, you say, you say people were working from the house and they were efficient. This time around, but they do not implementing some measures need people work from the house. And why am I reduce work consumption? Because the problem is the fuel prices now cause all this problem with the issue of social activities, public activities, we have social gatherings. We have put temporary ban on some of these funerals and it for the meantime reduce our fuel consumption. I think these things need to be dollarization. People are still paying hotels, restaurants with dollars. I think we need to jettison all those things. We measures to put down that thing, calm it down. People are importing second-hand product. And people importing second-hand product between we go 2, 4, 5 months, no be on toy. It put pressure on the currency. Right now, we should be able to put measures, very palliative measures to reduce that when it comes to people buying visas and tickets with these things. I think there should be measures that will act as a very potential effect towards dealing with the problem.
You made the point about the Russia-Ukraine war and its impact on the Ghanaian economy. The Russian government has refuted that position of government over the period. It cannot be the case considering the amount of trade between Ghana and Russia. And so it can't be the case that the worsening situation of our city, the inflation rates and all that we mentioned, no, it can't be the case that all can be, heaped on the Russian-Ukraine war. I'm sure you'd have seen that statement. Again, if you just dash back to 2019, when our economy was supposed to be doing well, there had been concerns about the debt to GDP ratio, which was around that time around 62.67, if I'm correct. And at that time, we had even started raising concerns about hitting the 67% threshold. So, is it really about the Russian-Ukraine war?
Yes, as you rightly said, the Russian-Ukraine war, I think is creating a very egregious role in this situation, very rebarbative role. Russia-Ukraine war, no, the trade volumes of Russia and Ukraine is not too much. Okay, wheat and fertilizer and other things are imported from not too much. But the point is that when say Russia in a day, Russia it produces about 60 million barrels of oil. So I'm a dominant player in the oil industry. And the whole problem now affecting oil production, oil pricing, because of say war it affecting production, other things. They have to also finance the war with those things. The amount oil prices they cost and the oil price cost affected the whole world. Since my main show February, let's see the name that say you started profit repatriation, it's that base 6 to some after the war now they jump up. And there volumes of trade with them alone. But their role in oil production in the world because the last time produced 60 million barrels of oil in a day. When the oil production is not affecting the number of prices they cost through, the whole world volumes of prices they cost through trade with them alone, but the prices of oil have been affected, have been exacerbated in the whole world. It is the Russian government ambassador is the global oil prices in the volumes of wheat and fertilizer with them, and they need too much. That's not the problem. So that's the global one. So that one it has a very very egregious role in this development. Now, nobody can abdicate the fact. Secondly, a debt to GDP, what can I really say? It's true. It's true the debt to GDP have been a serious problem. And in my debt to GDP, even financial sector reforms, they spent 25 billion. It was a good thing to do. They spent $25 billion. I ask yourself, this kind of send every 3 billion. And last time without government didn't retrieve even 2 billion. It's almost about 5 years to spend this kind of. When you spend they 2 months can retrieve. So there's a special tribunal being a certain speed of the process. And now they're a lawyer, they know what is the best way to go. It's in court, fine, some are in court, but some the process is very slow. So how many of them are in court? Some of these Bank of Ghana officials they were involved in this emergency liquidity assistance. American coin. Bank officials do say officials they say now they are in court, they are trying them. Some of these bank big men, how many of them? Right? So we have spent 25 billion, it's part of our debt. Because I want to say measures being implemented to help retrieve some of this amount of money. It's in court, but the process to some of us is very slow, very slower, very sluggish. It me my staggering effect. It's a different tribunal being the best at it. Now they're not faster. Because if this government lose power, I don't think the next government will have interest in pursuing this case because they are government officials that cause this same problem. Again, Okay, right now, okay, our expenditure rationalization, you can't want them now.
Mm-hmm.
Your debt stock, okay, mama times, okay, mama, the budget to parliament, do not send mama, the call, maybe 60, 65, and the budget quite, yeah, expenditure, 120, 10. Okay, some of these ministries, be a yeah, creature, yeah, some of these ministries, aquaculture, Ministry of Aviation, Ministry of some, Ministry of Lands and Environment, public sector, and some ministries be a creative, information and communication can you we expenditure on these government of ministries I call more than 4 billion cities
Mm.
government flagship program we should review it and that's it should be cancelled it should be reviewed then how I been doing expenditure rationalization then to see some of the expenditures
Mm.
okay some of these government state-owned corporations 183 you who swear what some of these people are always making loss what are some of the mayors are able to anti this problem auditor general report every year you lose over 10 billion cedis
Mm.
I is it some of these sex charges and disallowance certificate as a retrieve into one of
Mm.
these debt stock, issue of one debt expenditure rationalization have not been implemented. It comes the issue of ensuring that again to financial sector reforms can some of them can be retrieved. We have not been well operationalized when it comes to the issue when it comes to the issue of
Mm.
when it comes to the issue also of innovating ways to increase our tax revenue mobilization to we hope to see that okay I port here I a year say a friend say tobuchi it thought tobu should have been automated
Mm.
sɛ nka ɛyɛ automating na nka ɛbɛnya sika obi ante ho ɔba go through a system a ɛbɛkɔ consolidated fund these are things that I mean say yɛtumi yɛ ɛbɛtumi aboa in every sika so a yɛnya no so yɛmfa bi and diversify the economy so much where last year IMF my $1 billion here from top COVID-19 vaccine scan invested there we expecting say the money would have gone to producing rice when it comes to sugar right fish a fish chicken product a fertilizer and those things the money went up financing the budget and it came back to the same problem and
All
these are
right.
things we think
Miss
that
Mark,
is causing the problems.
I would like to thank you and the pay say Wajin Bernard Medin Komo
Okay.
our happy morning show so you know Miss Mark say and your journey thoughts our the performance of our economy and the assurance that is coming this morning yedi